Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be part of this history-making event, essentially because of several reasons. And if there is any value that I cherish, is truth. And at this moment, I like to make reference to Socrates when he said that an unexamined life is not worth living. So today, what we are doing here is an equivalence of examining our lives. What has gone wrong in terms of freedom and all that. And quite frankly, coming from the lens of a media practitioner and a college professor as well, I can tell you that both institutions of the media and even the university itself, both are threatened by the inability to really embrace what is called truth, to the point that some of us seem to believe that we are living in a post-truth world.
Could you specify what this truth is?
In a postmodern world, the definition of truth is really difficult to pin down. I do not want to go into a lot of philosophies, Immanuel Kant and all that. There are different perceptions, different views about what truth really means. However, why I want to really emphasize the understanding of truth from the perspective of media is the fact that all the debates going on, especially within the US that I'm more familiar with, you recognize that sometimes there is an attempt by other politicians or media practitioners themselves to twist facts. And like the famous senator from New York used to say, people forget that you are not entitled to, you're only entitled to your opinion, not to the facts, because facts are sacred. So, but today, there is almost a kind of corruption of the system whereby even some people talk about alternative facts. Facts is fact. There is nothing like any alternative. It's either it's truth or it is not. And I'm also worried by the fact that because what I wanted to talk about actually is how somehow we celebrated things like the social media as breaking barriers of information flow, but there seems to be a paradox in terms of how such things have also exacerbated falsehood in many ways. Like I tell my students, sometimes you can stay here and publish whatever you want to publish on Facebook and Twitter, right? I say we have so many publishers, but we have very few editors. Because typically, in a certain newsroom, why you find people on the desk is that there's an attempt to kind of filter information to make sure it is accurate. But today, anyone can publish from his or her room, and nobody verifies the information. And worse still is that even the media organizations themselves pick information from some of these opinionated information found on social media with less verification mechanisms. So, and it threatens the flow of information in the sense that, yeah, it's true there's freedom for us to express ourselves, because I'm one of the persons who believe in Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that talks about freedom of expression and freedom to hold opinions, and regardless of frontiers. That is key. But at the same time, just like some previous speakers said, some of the issues in terms of, there's no absolute freedom, and it comes with responsibility and obligations. And to that extent, it behoves on all of us, and like some other people have also said in terms of how the university is a citadel where we pursue the truth through research, we embrace publicly, and we engage the public in this conversation, and today, it may not be there because there's crisis in the education system. I'll give you one instance. Just recently, a Pulitzer-winning Nicole Hannah Jones who has this 1619 project, was denied tenure at the North Carolina University simply because of the 1619 project she probably did. Nobody really can say for sure, but obviously there are indications that it may have some, connection to that. So that's really diminishing academic freedom or freedom of expression. People should be allowed to express themselves. Okay, look at what happened with George Floyd incidents. Look at the report of the police. If not for this 17-year-old girl who sent this information on Facebook, nobody would have known the truth. The police just said it was an incident. And no reference was made whatsoever about what actually happened, that someone was kneeling on a human being and the person died. So to that extent, we see how useful social media can be. And I think in the cause of truth or pursuit of truth, all of us should be effective netizens. What I mean by netizenship is the fact that all of us now are inhabitants of the internet. Like Eric Schmidt will say, it's kind of an estate, connected estate, which all of us live. And in living there, we must play our roles in different ways. To the extent to which we can complain from now to tomorrow, and somehow we don't play our part in either holding people accountable by verification of information and by reducing the preponderance of falsehood and spreading of falsehood in the social media. Because social media can be a force for good, but at the same time, it can also be, has its own challenges. So I'm conscious of the time. I actually prepared some remarks and some slides. If necessary, I can develop it and still send it to you for your records. But interestingly, I'm really happy with what you guys are doing here in terms of, and I think it should be a model for other countries and other organizations as well, to see how we can, as a humanity, save the world today, because obviously everybody admits that there are so many challenges ahead. Thank you.